أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I welcome you all in today's our online session. Hope you all are fine and having good health. We start today's session with the verses of Holy Quran. We start today's session with the elements of protection system, in which including the instrument transformer divided into two parts: the CTs, PTs, current transformer, and potential transformer. Potential transformer, also called voltage transformers. Number two component called it relay systems, in which the differential relay protection of transmission line relay are we called distance relay, and another name of distance relay is impedance relay, Buchholz relay, over voltage, under voltage, over current, over frequency, under frequency, over flux, and thermal override relays, thermal relays, and other kind of protection relays which are mainly used in essential components of generation to utilization, including with electrical power transmission line. Further, circuit breaker with the type of categories MCB, MTCB, MPCB. Further, the ACB, BCB, GCB, the kind of circuit breakers. Battery banks, further, they need the protection equipments, and even battery also provide the supply to the protection scheme in the vicinity of protection network. Fuses also play a vital role for protection of the equipment. HRC fuse is a mainly and popular equipment in electrical power system which protect the system from burnout and also prevent system from over current and the short circuit current even also. Further, the last equipment, a lightning arrestor with surge arrestor. These are the two arrestor also used in power system as the supply of the system, and lightning arrestor, surge arrestor also prevent our system from certain shocks and prevent system from sudden voltage rise of the kind of faults also entertained while surge arrestor and lightning arrestor. These are the most popular equipment in power system. So further, if we moving towards some basic scenarios, protective relays monitor the current and or voltage of the power system to detect problems with the power system. Currents and voltages to relays are supplied via CTs and PTs even also. So CTs and PTs are plays a vital role in power systems to sensing the current and voltage respectively. And there are many other kind of relays which are also you can see the relay are circuit current transformer sends a kind of current from a bus bar. When in between a bus bar is going through from a CT, current would be sensed and uh, provides response by outermost points which we call P and Q hopefully, and P and S points which are 2 point of edges. Similarly, this kind of hollow of CTs of 200 amperes are also be used in other kinds of bus bars and other scenarios. They are hang out on the bus bar. The bus bar which is going through inside in the CT, it's act as a primary, and current which is induced in the housing of this transformer we call a secondary. Current transformer CT are a device which transforms the current on the power system from large primary values to safe secondary values. The secondary current will be proportional as per the ratio to the primary current. Okay, these are the uh, current transformer. which sense current in a of single phase particularly, but these are the kind of current transformer which measure the current all over the three phases directly. Three bus bars of phases red, yellow, blue are going through inside from the city, and current would be sensed by the scenario. And in the same instant, the if the kind of overcurrent and leakage kind of thing would be happen from a bus bar, that would be sensed by the city where in the form of overcurrent, and then it provide to the its particular relay which trip the circuit breaker directly. Further, moving towards some other kind of basic scenario with the power system equipments, are some basic scenarios are potential transformer. This is another category of instrument transformer we called a PT, a device which transforms the voltage on the power system for primary values to save secondary values in the ratio proportional to the primary value. So this is an important thing which we need to understand, that what is it. We further, sorry for the interruption. We further continue the session with the uh, potential transformer. Potential transformer, we mainly very well understand about the scenario that it measure the voltage by the outermost of power conductor. It is not directly sensing by touching contact of a power line because it is enormous amount of voltages like 500 kV or 220 kV, 132 kV, even 66 kV, 11 kV kind of thing. So it is a kind of transformer which is work on the mutual induction principle, that not directly the physical touching contact terminal to measure the potential. So it's a kind of step down transformer by which the turns ratio would step down the voltage, and equivalency of turns ratio would be matched to make the equivalent scale, which means the kind of 500 kV equals to the 12 volt of AC, which means if there is a coming of 500 kV equal to 12 volt, and if the kind of 500 kV would be less, then 12 volt of value would be less at the same time. Further, we moving towards the potential transformer, which is are the PTs. After that, further the scenarios of power system, we discuss the important aspect related to the fuse of elements, which is not a necessary thing. We very well know about the thing, the types of fuses and how the fuse works. Types of fuses: glass fuse, metal fuse, and also the HRC fuse, which are mainly used in our power system, providing supplies in between as a contact. And further, the scenarios are respective of current and pre-arcing stages are also be out there. So fuse looks like in this form. You can see that this is the housing of fuse and the terminal fuse link, which are made by the metals. Further, and internal housing of the fuse is made by the fuse element of the conductor. Filling powder or sand would be filled by this thing, and outer element of the terminal would be this, and the cartridge is make in the ceramic form, by which it make as a HRC fuse, the high rupturing capacity cartridge fuse. So most of the people already see the kind of this fuse. The primary objective, the primary objection of low and uncertain breaking capacity of semi-enclosed rewindable fuses is overcome in HRC package. Cartridge fuse, as shown in below mentioned figure, the essential parts of a typical HRC cartridge fuse, it consists of heat resisting ceramic body having metal end caps, to which the welded silver current carrying element. The space within the body surrounding the element is completely packed with the filling powder, which I called it a sand, and it the opposition effect of fire, when the fire hazard is created in between the contact of terminal, then it would be vanish in the kind of this powder, or I can say I said is a sand. So it is immersed by that particular powder or sand. The filling material may be chalk, plaster of Paris, and cords of marble, dust, and arc as an arc quenching and cooling medium. The arc quenching mechanism can be vanished in this medium of supply of contact between the terminal of end to end. So this is the scenario which follow in fuses and prevent from the arcing, arc quenching, fire hazards, and HRC fuse mainly used in this kind of scenarios. That's the reason we use HRC fuse in about the reading of 1 ampere, zero point 0.5 ampere to onwards, 500, 800 amperes, and it vary with the size. Even also under normal load condition, the fuse element is at temperature below its melting point. So it's a common scenario. After that, therefore, it is carries a normal current without overheating. Uh, and remember this thing, these HRCs was also inserted in our distribution board of the pole mounted transformer, even also by which the underground cable insert or connected through to the pole mounted transformer PMT, and before that connection it going through, passing through in between series to the HRC fuse. When a fault occurs, the current increases, and the fuse element melts. Before the fault current reaches its first peak, the heat produced in the process vaporizes the melt silver metal, which is a contact terminal. The chemical reaction between the silver vapor and the filling powder result in the formation of a high resistance substance, which helps in quenching the arc, which means the vanish it vanish the arc quenching by this mechanism. So that's the reason we prefer the HRZ views of material of fuse. And now discussing we are discussing the advantages. We are the self-explanatory. So I am giving you 1 or 2 minute of break by which you can study by yourself and understand. And if you have any kind of question, please feel free to